make sure that's within reach. Another drink. Hello lovely people. It is Tuesday. I always forget what day I'm on. It's Tuesday, the 18th of July. It is approximately 2 o'clock. And I am recording a second attempt of the second episode of Chaotic Crochet Chatter with myself. I am Jenny. This is the Stitchcraft Gifts YouTube channel, which is the channel for my little crochet business. Very, very small business. Located in North Yorkshire in the UK. This is where I live with my husband Kelvin, our son Ned, and our cat Neris. She would normally come and say hello, but I've shut the door today because I'm recording at the same time as Kelvin's on a meeting for work and I don't want too much audio crossover. The reason this is a second attempt, I had a bit of an mare yesterday. I tried to record this last night. Anyone who watched the last video will know that I did that one live. I was intending to do this one live as well, and to do all the future ones live, to be honest. So I set myself up last night and I hit record or go live or whatever it says on YouTube and started chatting. Chatted away for an hour and 20, showing off all my little bits and bobs. Got to the end, saved it, went to replay it to check it, and there was no sound. So if you want to watch an hour and 20 minutes of me gesturing and showing things off and doing like this and with no sound, then let me know and I'll send you the link. Otherwise, that video has been consigned to the private pile. I'm going to keep it as a reminder to check my audio settings before I start. And I think from now on I'm gonna pre-record, just so that at least I know it's not live and the sound's not working, and I can check it all beforehand. I will keep the format pretty much the same. I'll maybe do a couple of quick little edits, particularly at the beginning and the end, just to make things look a bit more streamlined, I guess, professional maybe. But otherwise, I'm keeping this as a live recording format, so that unless anything major goes wrong or I need to leave the room for a while and you're going to be sat here watching nothing, you will see life as it happens. This is me. You know, sometimes I forget my words, sometimes I sneeze, sometimes I get interrupted by the cat or my husband or my child, and I want to keep all that in. I want to keep this authentic. That said, because I recorded all of this yesterday, I'm not really in the mood to do this today, to be perfectly honest. I've done it once already, so I'm going to zoom through. The format will be perhaps a little less organised, but I am going to do my finished objects, everything finished since the last episode, my current works in progress, projects for the future, and I've got some incoming stuff, some acquisitions to talk to you about, some lovely bits of yarny goodness, and a couple of other things as well to show you, just that I'm excited have come in. The one thing that's come into the house that I can't show you right now is a new set of shelves for my craft room, which I'm sat in at the moment. I can't show you because the camera is sat on one of those shelves, so it's behind the camera at the moment, and if I move it I'll never get the setup right again. What I might do, well I probably will do at some point, is I'll take a photo of them and put them on Instagram, just because I like to show these things off. I'm going to use them to put on nothing actually craft related, just sort of bits and pieces that I've accumulated, ornamental bits that I like and I like to have on display. So you'll see those at some point. Don't hold your breath, I'll get to it when I get to it. So, moving on, let's do finished objects. I'm going to start with a couple of things that I made for the summer fair on the 1st of July. I did intend to record this episode just a couple of days after that fair, but life happened. Nothing major, just one little thing after another meant that I didn't get around to recording it. We're now, well, nearly 3 weeks later. Finally getting to it. I'll try and make it a bit quicker to the next one, but we'll see what happens. So these are things I made for the fair. I've got 3 finished objects altogether, 2 from the fair that I'm going to show you. Just mind that out of the way. The first is a set of placemats that I made. We have 2 on there, 2 full-size placemats and 2 little matching coasters that go with. These are all made using hobby rainbow cotton. I think it's the 8/8 weight, and from memory the colours are delicate light blue, antique rose, I think it's baby purple and light purple, and then everything except, my colour's not going very well on here. I think that's everything except the light blue on the coasters. These are made from, these are based on an existing pattern that is not mine. I will link it along with everything else in the description. I meant to say this at the beginning. All the details for everything I talk about, I'll put them in the description for you. So if you want to know more information about anything that I've made or anything else I talk about, just have a look. If you're reading it back and thinking, oh god, she's missed something, let me know. Just let me know and I'll send you the info and I'll update the details as well. Yes, so these were made from, the original pattern was for a mandala, and if I'd been making it as a mandala and stretching it into a frame, the pattern's perfect as it is. But for placemats, obviously, you need it to lie flat. Kind of, it's a bit pointless otherwise. And so I couldn't get the pattern to work. I couldn't get it to lie flat. I don't know whether that's me or whether that's the thing with the pattern. It could be either. So I adapted it. I had a little play around. I haven't made any major changes, I don't think, but I've just changed the stitch count on a few, well, probably on every row, because I think I changed it right at the beginning, which means it'll have affected every row since. I think I changed, what did I change? Something else. This row here, I think I've just changed slightly in terms of how it actually works. And then I've added a row of crab stitch around the edge. I'm just going to hold that closer so you can see. I hope that it focuses for you. So I've added a row of crab stitch around the edge just to neaten it off. I've not done that on the coasters. I thought they were fine as they were. And I actually made 3 sets of these, and I sold 1 set at the fair, which was really cool. Sales always make me happy for obvious reasons, I guess. And it went to someone I know, and I think she's given them to her mum, so that's really lovely. And I've got 2 more sets, this one and another one. And at some point they will go in my shop. If you want them before they're in the shop, just let me know. I'm quite happy to sell things without them going through the shop. It's a lot less hassle for me. But I promise I will update my shop with all my stock at some point. I will get to it. It's just, it's not something I enjoy doing, so I put it off. So item number 2, this is another thing I made for the fair. I think I mentioned last time I'd got a bit addicted to making wall hangings, mandala style wall hangings and dream catchers, and I made quite a lot. I'm not going to show you all of them because I will be here all day and my son's coming home from school in just under an hour and a half, so I can't. But this is one of them. Let's see if I can get it all in frame. There we go. This is, I'm going to say it's not my favourite, but I don't know which one is. They're all really lovely. I like all of them. This one is called the Starflower Mandala. Again, I can't remember off the top of my head who it's by, but I will put the notes in. And I think it's Mayflower cotton. I can't tell you the colour names, mostly because they're not on the labels that are with this yarn. It's quite an old edition of the Mayflower yarn. I don't know if edition is the right word, production line maybe. You can still get Mayflower cotton, but the colour numbers on the labels for this don't match up with anything I can find online. So either I've got an odd batch or they renumbered them all or something, I don't know. But you can see it's a lovely bright yellow and then a nice kind of orangey red, I don't know, deep, I don't know, I'm not good with colours. For those who don't know, I am sight impaired, and one of the issues I have is colour. I can see that there is colour, but identifying specific colours is difficult, if that makes sense. So I don't know, I'm going to describe it as a deep red on the kind of orangey end of the red spectrum. I don't know what else you'd call it, maybe kind of terracotta-ish, but very dark. I don't know. You let me know what you think. Anyway, it's pretty and I like it, and again that will be in my shop at some point along with the many other mandalas that I made. Pop that down. And then my final finished object to show you is a little bit different. This is a gift for one of Ned's teachers, for the teaching assistant actually. There's a teacher and a teaching assistant in his class, and just because of the way things have worked out, they've been with his class for more than a year now. I think it's about 1.5 years, and they're really lovely. Ned really likes both of them. He's really sad that they're not moving up into year 3 with him next year. It was inevitable, it was going to happen, that they were going to change teachers, but he's definitely going to miss them. And so I wanted to make them something special. I have made them something each, but I haven't finished the other one yet. I'll show you that when I get to works in progress in a minute. So this is for the teaching assistant. That closer. It's a really lovely little kitten. Apparently she likes cats. She has cats of her own. So Ned has told me, reliably informed me. I really love how it's worked out. I think it is probably my best amigurumi that I've made so far, the neatest anyway. Really pleased with the stitches. Really, the tail is brilliant. There's a bit of wire inside. I'm not going to explain it all now, but the way it's fixed in means that the sharp edges aren't going to poke out, so it's not, obviously I wouldn't give it to a young child, but for anyone else it's absolutely fine. And this is actually from a free pattern, which is amazing, and the front legs into the body is all one piece, which I think helps keep it neat, because the bit I hate most, no, okay, let me rephrase that. I love making amigurumi. I love the concept of amigurumi. I enjoy crocheting all the individual bits. I hate sewing them together. I never feel like I've got it right. Even with this one, which I think is really cute and I really love it, the ears aren't straight, the legs aren't straight, the tail's okay, but I think that's mostly because of the wire and you can move it into place. The face is okay, only I think because it's very simple and it's mostly I've just put safety eyes in and I've done a little nose and that's it. It could be much better, but hey, it's not my speciality, so it's fine. And I do really love it, and I hope that Ned's teaching assistant will too. I know if nothing else she'll appreciate the gesture, and I'll put a little note in saying, look, if this isn't your thing, find someone to give it to, donate it to charity, do what you want with it. She's under no obligation to keep it. I just wanted to show her how much we've appreciated the time she's spent, the effort she's put in with helping Ned get along for the last 1.5 years. So that's that. Again, details will be in the description. So that's my 3 finished projects. I will now show you my current works in progress, active works in progress. I think I said last time, I've always got far more projects on the go that I could ever have time for. I've got a heap in, I was going to say 1 cubby hole, it's across 2 cubby holes in my big cube shelf unit over there. I'll show you that at some other time when I've got more time. I might do a separate video at some point that'll show you my stash and or my works in progress retirement home. No, that's not fair. What did I call it? Hibernation station. That's what, because they're not finished, they're not retired, I haven't given up on them, they're just having a rest. There's loads over there. I think there's a couple downstairs that, in fact there's my, what's it called, sacred space blanket that I'm working on. That's downstairs and hasn't been touched in, well, at least since I last recorded something here. It's just the way it goes. I've always got more things I want to make. Always. So, moving on. Active works in progress. This, I'm not happy with this, hence why it's still a work in progress. Technically, this is finished. It's a little puppy dog, for Ned's teacher. I'm not naming names on purpose. We love them, but I think it's probably best, because they're teachers, just to keep them anonymous. Anyone who knows me will know who they are. Again, want to show her our appreciation for the last 1.5 years. She's been fab. Ned's really going to miss her. He'll still see her around, and I think she will be teaching music lessons for them. But it's not the same, is it? But I'm not happy with this. It was it a free pattern? I think this was a free one. Thankfully, I'd be a bit cross if I paid for this pattern. And I can't really put my finger on what's wrong with it. It just doesn't look neat enough. Doesn't look finished enough. I think if we put it side by side with the kitten, look at the quality in comparison. The kitten's much better. And I think if I was just giving that, it wouldn't be so much of an issue. But because I'm giving both these gifts on the same day to people who work together, who may well open their gifts together, I don't want them to be any quality difference between them. That said, I have only got until Thursday afternoon. Friday an absolute stretch to get a gift for his teacher finished. I am working on a new puppy. I just started it this morning. Cutting it fine as always. If it turns out better and I get it finished, which I hope I will, I've got all the legs done already, and I'll do some more this evening. Hopefully I can give her a really lovely little puppy toy. If not, this will have to do. And I won't be happy with it, but it's better than nothing, I think. Maybe. What do you think? Ned says he's quite cute and that his teacher won't mind. But I'm just not happy with it, and I don't want to give something that I'm not happy with myself. I think that's not cool. So there's that. It's mostly made with bits of scrap yarn, so I'm not even going to tell you what the yarn is. The yarn for this, incidentally, the white is some scrap yarn, the grey is Sirdar Snuggly DK in Whisper, which is one of the yarns that I used for the blanket test that I did a month or 2 ago. And again, I just had some left over and thought it was a perfect colour for a little kitten. But yeah, finished. Technically finished, but I'm not happy, so carrying on. Next work in progress is one you've seen before. There's not a lot of progress on it, if I'm honest. This is my blanket stitch shawl. I'm now on to the 3rd cake of the yarn in question. This colourway is called Nighttime Bubbles. I just think they're all beautiful. All the yarns in this range are beautiful, but I really love the colours in this and the transition. And I'm not going to fully unfold it because I haven't done enough to warrant doing that, but I've done a few new rows. This colour here is the outside of that cake of yarn. 4 or 5 rows there. You can just about see where the colour changes, I think. So I think I've done quite well with matching up different cakes in a way that means the colour changes, but it's quite a smooth change, it's not too obvious. So I've not done a lot on that, but I've done a bit more, and I'm going to try, I am going to try to get some more done before the next recording. I'm going to aim for 4 inches. I'll put a little marker in one side, to show where I'm at the moment, and then carry on. And yeah, I'm aiming to get another 4 inches done by the next recording, which will be in, I'm going to say a couple of weeks, but we'll see what happens. At most another month. Let's say a couple of weeks. Let's aim for a couple of weeks. And yeah, I just kind of want to keep showing it to you to show how the colours progress. I think the gradient with these is, I love gradient yarn anyway, but these cakes in particular, it's such a slow, steady gradient change. You can see it across here, you know, and it always looks lovely. So yes, I shall update you again next time. Then I have another one that you've technically seen before. This is from the Crochet Society box number 42. I told you all about Crochet Society last time, so I won't go over it all again. But basically it's a crochet subscription box in which you get yarn, which is a good start. You get a hook and a stitch marker and a few other little bits and pieces, and you get at least 3 patterns for things to make. This box, all the patterns were designed by Kate Heppel, who is fab, and she designed the whole box and curated everything, and I love it, absolutely love it. This is the little bag that came in the box, little project bag. It says, is it be gentle? Yeah, be gentle with yourself, which is always a good reminder. And it's perfect for keeping projects in, small ones anyway, or the bits for a large one. So these are the hexagons I have made so far for the blanket that she designed. And because I love this box so much, and it's the first Crochet Society box that I've really, really loved in a while, excuse me, so I thought I'd make something for me. Quite often in the past I've used these boxes to make things to sell or gifts for people. But I love this box, I love the colours, I love the yarn, I love the patterns, it's all lovely. And so this is for me. I'm making the blanket that Kate designed. Again, I'll put the pattern in the comments, although you can only really get hold of it at the moment through Crochet Society. But I think she will release it separately at some point in the future, so it's worth keeping an eye out. So, and just look how the colours go together. It's really lovely. The yarn is a gradient yarn. It's a Signet one. I'll show you the yarn in a moment, although I've caked it all up so it's a bit different. And you use 2 cakes at once, so you get 2 different colour gradients going on in each hexagon. And I just think they all work so well together. I've picked the colours perfectly, put them together perfectly, and because it's gradient yarn, and so the colours change as you go, each hexagon is pretty much unique. Even though the pattern's the same, the colours change, which is lovely. These are the yarns. This is, oh, I folded the labels up and I don't want to unfold them, but again I'll put the details in for you. I know it's a Signet yarn, and it's just such stunning colours. That's one. I think that's called Sandstorm or something. Dust Storm. This is Violet Ice. That's coming undone. Violet Ice. And that colourway, oh, there's a stitch marker stuck to it. Oh no, that's on purpose. I put that there on purpose. This colourway is called Waterfall, and I'm totally in love with it. So again, I'm going to keep pressing on. This is an ongoing project. It's going to take me a while. I'm going to try and do another 3 hexagons by the next recording. I would aim for more, but I've got lots of little projects going on at the moment, as you'll see. So I don't want to overwhelm myself, but I do want to keep going. I don't want it to sit forgotten. I think it'd be really lovely if I could get this finished by this winter, because it'll be quite a warm blanket. I can snuggle under it on the sofa. And bring a little bit of colour to our sitting room, which is still a bit bland. We've been here in this house since just before Halloween last year, and we haven't done any decorating yet. Not a little bit. So everything's a bit bland still. All the walls are magnolia. All the woodwork is kind of off-white. It's not to my taste, but that's what you get when you move into a new house. And we'll get to it. And then my final active work in progress, that's not true. I've got another one. My almost final. This is going to be a bag for my wonderful friend Lindsay. I'll show you the detail on that. This is using the pattern called Foliage by Sixel Design. You will know, if you follow me on Instagram, you will already know she's my favourite designer. She has been for a while, and every pattern, almost every pattern she releases is just so up my street. She's got a book coming out in, I think it's coming out in October this year, that I pre-ordered as soon as I heard about it, because, well, I've got to have it, I've just got to. So it's a mosaic crochet pattern, overlay mosaic technique. This is using Hobby Friends cotton, 8/8 again, in denim and blackcurrant. Lovely rich colours again. I'm using a lot of very, very rich, deep, vibrant, saturated, all those words, those kind of colours at the moment. And yeah, it's going to be a little bag for my friend Lindsay. She's commissioned it from me. She wants it for when she goes to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in August, so I need to crack on and get it finished. Got a couple of other things I need to get finished first. Sorry, Linz. Sorry, I'm not ignoring it. I love you, and I am going to get it finished in time, I promise. So it's going to be about that big, I think, and then obviously I need to do the strap as well. So I've got my work cut out for me, but I'm really enjoying making it, really enjoying it. The colours are gorgeous, the pattern is gorgeous, the whole thing is going to be gorgeous. So that's that. And then, where have I put it? There is one more work in progress, and I've put the yarn for it down somewhere and I can't find it now. It's there. Might cut this bit out. You don't really want to see me rooting around my craft room, do you? Maybe you do. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like when I'm finished. So this last work in progress I can't actually tell you much about. It's a surprise. Secret for now. But I can tell you about the yarn. It's not a lot of detail, but it's something. This, my brain went blank then, but I'm back, I'm still here. This is, as you can see, Sirdar Snuggly DK. Can you see that? Quite shiny writing. I promise you it is. Sirdar Snuggly DK in Cloud and Grape. This again I used in the blanket test that I did a couple of months ago for Stitched Up by Emma. So I know the yarn's good. I kind of fell in love with it while I was doing that blanket test. It was yarn that I had bought on a whim before that, just because I liked the colours. I think it was on sale the first time I bought it. And I thought, you know what, it's perfect for this secret project. I've had to buy more, of course. I had quite a bit of Grape left over, but I bought 3 more skeins. I've got 6 in total of Grape, and then I didn't have a colour that I thought went with it for this project, so I bought 6 grapes of Cloud. 6 grapes? 6 skeins of Cloud. Wow, that was a slip, wasn't it? 6 skeins of Cloud. So I've got 12 altogether. I think that's going to be enough. Hopefully it's too much. That's always my aim. If not, I'll just have to buy more. Oh no, what a shame. And that takes us quite nicely onto acquisitions, because while I was buying this yarn, I bought myself a little something too. So even buying, I think it was 9 skeins I had to buy, I didn't go over the threshold for free delivery. I buy a lot of my yarn either from hobby.co.uk or from Wool Warehouse online. In this case it was from Wool Warehouse, and I think their threshold at the time was £30 for free delivery, and all of that took me to something like 26, 27. And I thought, instead of spending 3-4 quid on delivery, let's spend it on yarn instead. So I found this. This is, you know, black and white. Couldn't really be more me, to be honest. You know, it'll go with anything. It's a little bit goth without being over the top. I'm probably mispronouncing this, but it is Creative Cotton de Crade. I would shave it, it's really shiny. I don't think I'll get it to focus, but I'll try. Can you see that? Oh, maybe. And yes, I have written on the colour thing. It's again because of my eyes, I have to write the colour name on, so that when I come back to it in, you know, weeks, months, a year, 2 years, I don't have to guess, I don't have to look at it and think, right, is that black, or is that navy, or is that dark green? Oh, no, it's black, it says so on the label. Any yarn producers watching this, please, please, please do it for me. Put the colour name on the label and make it something that actually tells me what colour it is, not one of these ocean breeze or whatever, where it could be anything. Although that's probably going to be blue, isn't it? Call it blue, call it black and white, call it orange, whatever the colour is, you know, make it fancy, that's fine, but just make it obvious, please, for those of us who love to crochet and struggle with colour. This is, yeah, a treat to myself because I had a bit of extra cash to spend. It is a 200 g cake, which should be 800 metres, which is a really good size. It's enough to make a shawl like that. They've put a little reference picture on. I don't know if the pattern's inside the label, it might be. Does it say? Well, if it does say, it doesn't say it in English, so I'm not sure. And it is 50% cotton, 50% acrylic, which results in really soft yarn, really light yarn. I think it's is it a 4-ply or a fingering? It's either 4-ply or fingering weight, I can't, and they might be the same. I'm never quite sure, I'm rubbish at weights. But yeah, really soft, really lovely drape to it, really lightweight and breathable while still being really strong, a little bit of stretch to it, which a lot of 100% cotton don't really have. You know, it's got the benefits of both. It's not quite as breathable as pure cotton would be, but it's much more breathable than pure acrylic would be. It sits nicely in between. So yeah, I bought that for me and I love it. And I don't know what I'm going to make with it, but I shall find something. And if you've got any ideas, drop a comment in, let me know. So that was acquisition number 1. What shall I show you next? This is just a quick one because I can't show you inside it yet. But a couple of weeks ago, I think, Crochet Society box 43 arrived. It's very pretty. I have had a look inside. This one was curated by Rosina Plain, who is a very well-known designer, another mosaic crochet designer actually. Her patterns are stunning, and in this box I think there's actually 4 patterns in the booklet, which is unusual, there's normally 3. And she's used, I think, 3 different mosaic techniques. One which I know I love, overlay. One which I'm not keen on, inset. And then another one that I can't remember the name of, but I never tried, never even heard of. So I'm really excited to try that. I think that'll be the pattern I go to first in here. The yarn is gorgeous. I can't tell you much, I don't want to get in trouble with Crochet Society. Don't want to ruin things for anyone who has subscribed and hasn't got the box yet. So I won't open it and show you, I won't say much about it until after their official unboxing video on their channel, at which point I'll dig it back out and I'll show you some of the contents. But the yarn's gorgeous. I think it's 100% cotton. It might be a blend like that other one. Can't wait. Can't wait to get started. I've got too much else to do, I can't start yet, but it's on my list. That's that. More yarn. A box that looks very boring and isn't. This is the other subscription that I've got. This is the subscription that I took out when I was very dissatisfied with Crochet Society. It was in between the first major change they made and the second major change they made. I won't go into detail, I can't be bothered. I think I mentioned it in my previous video, and if not, you can find out, you know, from other sources. But at one point I was very dissatisfied. I was strongly considering cancelling my Crochet Society subscription. That's changed, I've just renewed it. And I thought, well, I'm going to have 20-30 quid spare a month. Let's start a new subscription. Now I have 2 yarn subscriptions. It's not good, people, it's not good. Just to prove I am addicted to crochet and to yarn in particular. This is the Mini Skein Club from Vicky Brown, who I discovered, I can't remember if I was actively looking for the subscription at that point or if she just popped up on my Instagram. Either way, she caught my eye. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this yarn. I love the fact that she uses black tissue paper. I know it's a little thing, but it works for me. It's a little thing that I really like. And this is this month's yarn. I have chosen the ombre option. You can have ombre or you can have, I think, a random selection of colours. It's all merino and, as it's 75% merino and 25% nylon. I need to check the care instructions on it because that will influence what I make. I think this is my 4th or 5th box now that I've had from her, and with the gradient yarn that I've chosen, all the colours blend into each other, not just within the month but from one month to the next. So last month, this is the June box, the month before was kind of yellow to orange, and then presumably it's going to get greener in the July box, which should be arriving any day actually, so that'll be nice. Means I can show you some more in the next video. And yeah, I've got no idea what I'm going to make with it yet. I need to buy a Swift so that I can wind it up properly without getting in a real tangle. We'll see. If you have any ideas of what to make, I'm tempted. I've got a couple of ideas. One is to do a big tapestry style wall hanging with these as the background, and then a black yarn for a contrast with either a decorative pattern or a bit of text, something like that. My other idea is to actually teach myself to knit, which I've been half intending to do for a couple of years now and haven't got around to. But if I do, make myself a load of socks, because that'll be really cool socks, and none of them will match, and that's amazing. I like it when socks don't match. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it's true. What else have I got to show you? I've got an acquisition that I need to be very careful with because you can't see inside this because it's got the secret project in it, which I can't show you, but I can show you the bag that it's in. Look at that! Which way are we going? That way. Ring-tailed lemur with a baby lemur on the back. Bought this from the Yorkshire Wildlife Park in Doncaster, in the UK still. And I bought this because, for one, I can never have too many project bags. And yes, it's not marketed as a project bag, it's just a tote bag, but it makes a perfect project bag. It's really wide. I can fit loads in here, and it should be fairly hard wearing. And it was only 12 quid, so can't really argue with that. But also because the reason we were at the Yorkshire Wildlife Park was to go and feed the lemurs for my birthday, which is just after Christmas. And Kelvin bought me an animal experience, and I could choose between, I think it was the meerkats, the lemurs and the wallabies, to choose one. And I chose the lemurs, and I'm really, really glad I did. And obviously it's not my birthday anymore, but that was kind of the point of the present, to keep it for this time of year when there's not a lot else going on. Something to cheer me up. And it was for 2 people, so Ned and I went into the enclosure with the keepers and we prepared them a little snack, and we fed them the little snack, and we said hello and learnt loads of really interesting lemur facts, and it was just a really, really fun experience. I've always liked lemurs, but I love them now. Really love them. They're so cute close up, and they're so full of character. What can I tell you that I learnt about them? So they have 2 tongues. Who knew? They've got a normal tongue for like licking stuff, and then they've got another tongue underneath the first one, which is essentially a little toothbrush, and they use it for like picking stuff out from between their teeth, which is gross but interesting. And hey, they've got good dental hygiene. Who knew? And then the other thing with ring-tailed lemurs, you might already know this, but their tails, they all have 13 white stripes, 13 black stripes, but the width of them is unique to each lemur. It's like a little barcode, and the reason when they run along they have the tails waving up in the air like this is so that they all know who's going past. It's like, oh, that's Dave, that's Janet. You know, I just think that's really cool, and to the human eye they're all the same, but to a lemur they know who's who. So that's my bag. I'm being really careful not to show you what's inside because I cannot give that project away. And then my final acquisition today is super special because I didn't buy this. I was given this by my wonderful friend Fee. Gorgeous bag as well, look. Really lovely bag. That's not the gift, but it is a really lovely bag. So my friend Fee is known as Fiona Creates on Instagram and the internet and everywhere else professional. She is an illustrator, and she's done some really amazing work lately. She's always been incredibly talented, but she's had some really big projects lately, and I'm so pleased for her, so proud of what she's been able to do. We have known each other since we were about 13. I think she's just under a year younger than me, not that it matters, but, and I can't remember, I think we met in year 8 at school, high school. That's around about 13. I might have been 14. I can't remember, it was a long time ago. But yeah, we know each other well, and we met up a couple of weeks ago. I completely forgot to get her anything. We haven't seen each other since way before Christmas, way before her last birthday as well. I completely forgot to get her anything, so I need to make up for that next time I see her. I promise, Fee, I will make up for it. She bought me all of this lovely stuff. She bought me a gorgeous Yankee candle. That's the wrong way around. That way. And the scent is Midnight Blossoms, and it smells divine. I can't share the smell with you over camera, but it does smell gorgeous, I promise. And I don't know yet whether I'm going to keep that up here or have it in the sitting room. But either way, the house is going to smell gorgeous when I light it. And then I have got 3 gorgeous skeins of yarn in here. There is Signet Boho Spirit, which is a nice variegated yarn. It's 100% acrylic. The colourway is called Cosmic, and again, I've got no idea what I'm going to make with any of this yarn, but just adding it to my stash even that's enough for me. It's really soft, feels really soft. I think I'm going to enjoy working with this. I might make a shawl or a scarf or something. Ooh, that's an idea actually, a nice filet crochet scarf for winter. I don't like heavy scarves, I like quite lightweight ones. Big, wide, long, but lightweight, and that might be perfect. That's an idea. And filet crochet would look really nice. It always works quite well, I think, in not self-striping yarns, that's too busy for a filet crochet pattern, but for a nice slow colour fade like this, I think it'll work really well. And then she bought me 2 skeins of Jelly Bean chenille. This one's called Firecracker, I believe, and this one is called Deep Violet. And I'm really excited. I haven't ever bought myself any chenille yarn because I just haven't quite dared. I've not used it before. I see people make stuff with it on Instagram and on Reddit and on Facebook and everywhere else, and it always looks so lovely, but I haven't quite dared buy any to do myself yet. So the fact that Fee has bought me some that I can now experiment with is fantastic. I haven't wasted my own money. But also the colours are gorgeous. This one's sparkly, can you tell? Can you see the sparkle in the camera? I don't know how well it's picking it up. I can't see the screen well enough to tell you, but if you can't tell, it is super sparkly. I've got no idea what I'm going to make. There's some little heart amigurumi type things that might look quite nice, or I might join the craze of making turtles. I love turtles, and although these don't quite go, they might look quite fun if I did like the head and the flippers in Firecracker and then the shell in the Violet. What do you think? Something like that. I'll play with some ideas, and I'm gonna have fun anyway working with this. Some people say it's a nightmare. Whatever. I'm prepared to have a go and see what happens, and it might just be the start of a new addiction for me. I might start buying all the chenille yarn. We'll see what happens. So that's that. And the last thing to mention, I mean there's lots of things I could mention, but the last thing that's kind of relevant is, I was just checking the time, it's 2:45, I'm okay. We had a family lunch on Sunday. It was my mum's birthday last week, and we all got together, me and Kelvin and Ned and my mum and my, I lost count for a moment, 3 sisters and my brother and their partners, and we all got together for a gorgeous Sunday lunch. The food was amazing. It's at Fields Garden Centre and Cafe Restaurant, which is, I think it's in Sherburn. If anyone wants to go, it's really lovely. Fields Garden Centre. And they've got amazing plants as well, of course. But we went and we had a lovely Sunday lunch, and it was announced, I think everybody else knew, but it was announced to me that my babyest sister is pregnant. She's gonna have a baby, and I'm really excited, really excited, and so happy for her and her boyfriend Lewis. Hi guys. Partly, I mean, just because they're having a baby and that's awesome and I love babies, but also the baby's due in January, which is my least favourite month of the year. It's a little bit triggering these days. There's stuff that happened, not the January just gone, the one before, that I won't go into now, that makes it an especially hard month. It was already a horrible month. I never liked January, but it's especially hard these days. But having this amazing news to look forward to, you know, we're going to be welcoming a new member of the family in January, all going well. Please don't let me jinx this. And then after that, we'll have a birthday to celebrate every January. And so I'm going to be, I'm already an auntie. I've got 2 nephews on Kelvin's side, but I'm going to be an auntie again. And I've got the excuse now to crochet loads and loads and loads and loads of baby stuff. I'm going to be making blankets and hats and jackets and toys and all sorts. I don't know when I'm going to fit it all in, but I will. I absolutely will. So that's exciting, really exciting. I lied, that's not the last thing to tell you about. That's the most exciting thing to tell you about. So happy, cannot wait to meet the baby. But 2 other Crochet Land related things to tell you about. I don't know if you know this, some of you will, some of you won't. There's a crochet trend, crochet tag thing, I don't know, called Christmas in July. Now, I didn't find out about Christmas in July until the very end of June this year, when I already had all my July projects planned out. July's full. Pardon me. But I love Christmas. It's my favourite time of year. That lead up to Christmas and then the little Christmas period itself is just amazing. And I hate summer. So trying to get a bit of Christmas into summer sounds like a fantastic idea to me. I don't have time to do much. I might not have time to do any at all, but I'm going to try and squeeze in a little something I'll either do, if I get time, and I'm going to do my best to get time, to do a couple of baubles or some mini stockings, or I've got my eye on a pattern for a Christmas jumper. So if I've got yarn in my stash that I can use for that, I might start that, or at least investigate the pattern further and see if it is as easy as it looks. And then hopefully I can make myself a Christmas jumper this year instead of buying one. I always like to have a new Christmas jumper. I keep all my old ones. I've got quite a good stash now. But I like to have at least one new one every year. And making instead of buying is obviously much better. Much better. So that's that. Christmas in July. Try and squeeze something in. And then the other thing is Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful on YouTube. What's she called on Instagram? I can't remember, but I'll put it in the description. She is running, at the moment, it's until about the middle of August, the Strawberry Shortcake make-along. And I don't get involved in all the make-alongs I see, there's far too many. But I really, really love her podcast. Love it. And her idea for it is fab. I'll see if I can find the video in which she explains it, and I'll link that for you so you can see what it's all about. But basically it's a really, really relaxed make-along to basically make something that's inspired by the Strawberry Shortcake range of dolls that is from Ali's childhood. I missed out on them. I'd never heard of them before, but they sound amazing. Or something inspired by summery desserts like a raspberry pavlova maybe, or something, or summer fruits, or just summer in general, like a beach bag, or a summer parasol maybe, something like that. So I don't know what I'm going to make. Time is running out. I'm not going to get it done in July, it's going to have to fit into August somewhere. But I am determined to make something for this make-along, partly because she's offering up prizes, and I've seen some of the prizes on her YouTube blog and they look fab, and just to have a chance at winning one would be amazing. So again, I'll put all the details in the description for you, and if you want to join in too, that would be amazing. If you've got any ideas for what I can make, that would be amazing too. Like I say, I need to root through my stash and see if I can find something that inspires me. And we shall see what happens. And I think that genuinely is it, which means I've managed to get this to under an hour, which is impressive. The last one was an hour and 10, and when I tried this last night it was an hour and 20. So to get it in under an hour I think is pretty good. Although I like long videos, I like to watch long ones. I don't know if you do. Let me know. Do you prefer long ones or short ones? Do you want them more often but shorter? Less frequent but longer? More often but longer? Let me know what you think. But that's it. So I'm going to say bye-bye. There's really not a lot else to say except that I hope you have a lovely day whenever you're watching this, and that you're enjoying the summer. I'm not, I never do, but I hope you are. The summer holidays are looming for anyone with kids in the UK, and I struggle. I really struggle because routine goes out the window and that's not good for me. But I will make it work. It's only 6-7 weeks, I can cope, right? We've got a few things planned. So, have a lovely day. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you like this, I don't care whether you like it or not, please like the video, please subscribe, help me out, let me build my following, build the algorithm. When I get to 1,000 followers, if you're not into it anymore, then you can unsubscribe, okay? So yeah, subscribe here, like this, follow me on Instagram. I'm on Ko-fi as well, I'm on Facebook as well. I've got a shop on To-Do, I've got a shop on Made Me UK. All of this will be linked down below. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of your day.